Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So on the Bitcoin chart, on the daily here, we still haven't seen any upside breakout. So the price is rather consolidating on a pretty high level, just above the 100% extension target up here at 62,160, which also, as you can see, seems to be acting as a little bit of support. The idea is that Bitcoin is still in this move to the upside that hasn't changed. Yeah, there's the blue count and the white count. In both, actually, we could still look for higher prices, at least as long as micro support on the 1 hour chart is holding. However, please note that we are still within the larger range, which started in March, and naturally there is some resistance before breaking out. Yeah, it's not easy to break out of a range in which we've been moving since March. So it takes the bulls a lot of effort. A lot of people are selling into the rally at these points, at these breakout points, especially given that it's quite an obvious one. And in crypto, typically breakouts happen quite frequently. So it's just something to be aware of. And if we're talking about support, this is still located between 60,963 and 53,113. I did tell you there is a micro support area on the 1 hour chart. If it breaks, we can assume that the price is at least in wave 2 in the blue count after a 5-wave move up formed. So it would be wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So this is technically a valid wave count. I have to say, however, that I don't like this count very much, at least not in the current configuration, because wave 3 is quite short, wave 5 as well, but it's valid. Okay, it's just technically valid. Sometimes markets choose the less probable pathway. I would actually prefer the white count, where you're going a little bit higher to complete a 3rd wave, then get a 4th wave and a 5th wave. But that's sort of how I see it at the moment. I definitely give the bulls the benefit of the doubt, because even in the, let's say, not ideal pattern, but still valid pattern in the blue count here on the daily chart, we have a 5-wave move up. And therefore, it makes sense to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt. If we get a deeper pullback, that we can watch for support in the area between 60,963 and 53,113. What does it mean, giving the bulls the benefit of the doubt? Well, that I prefer the white, or let's say, that I prefer the scenario in which we've already bottomed on the 5th of August over the yellow count, in which this larger wave 4 that started in March is still unfolding. And the blue and the white potentials here on the daily chart just show the different pathways the market could take. Now, if we break below support on the 1 hour chart, it will be, let's say, confirmation that we've topped there, at least in wave 1 in blue. And however, I'm still thinking, it could just still be a more of an extension that would still be possible. Okay, so just again, I'm rather looking for higher than lower, but still, when we break below the 1 hour chart support, then it will be a first confirmation that this larger pullback has started. And you can see here that Bitcoin hasn't really moved since yesterday, at least not much. Bitcoin ideally has found support now in this orange support region, but I can tell you that below 64,779, it becomes more probable that we're starting that larger pullback. Bottom line is, we haven't seen a low yet. Okay, the low isn't in at this stage in this correction. It could be. I'm talking about the pullback which started here in here on the, when was that? When did we start yesterday? Yeah, late between Sunday and Monday, obviously depending on the time zone. But in this scenario, as long as we're holding above this area between 64,780 and 66,537, as long as it's holding, I would like to see one more high or two more highs, and the price has been dancing on the 38.2 retracement now. But ideally, the low, forms in this region. I just cannot confirm a low is in at this stage. And yeah, if we break below that upper support area, I'm not sure, is there another count that could apply? Surely it's just that we shouldn't be surprised, I should rather say, that there is a lot of downside pressure. So the count might change a few times before we break out to the upside. I've been looking for alternatives, is there another one? I mean, it's going to be difficult. The only other alternative that I can come up with before we actually break into the, let's tidying that up, into the lower support zone here on the daily chart. I'm talking about this one. Okay, so the only other scenario is, and you see that on the daily, if this here was just another A wave, we're doing a bit of a deeper B wave before we go up, before we then start that pullback. So it's going to be a bit challenging, but that just has to do with the fact that we're dealing with these diagonals, right? So that means in this scenario, it would be something like A wave up, B wave down, which goes a bit lower, and then C wave. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, for now, I'm tracking higher against 64,780. And you know that once we then get a next 5-wave move up, followed by a 3-wave pullback, we have the signal that that a low is in. For now, I'm just I'm just watching the support area, micro support. So that's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.